On the news tonight, federal government backs U.S. visa ban on Nigerians, undermining democracy. DSS intercepts syndicate selling new currency notes, bank officials implicated. And it's good news for Nigerian travelers as the Nigerian Railway Corporation to resume Abuja-Kaduna train service on Tuesday. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. With the 2023 general election just weeks away, calls from the international community against electoral violence have become more vocal. To this end, the federal government has said it is in support of any action, including a visa ban, to be imposed on any Nigerian who threatens the 2023 elections by the United States of America. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, made the position of the government known at a press conference in Abuja. Mohammed reiterated the position of the Buhari-led administration to ensure free, fair and credible elections, as well as a smooth handover to a successor on May 29. The minister added that the president has given unprecedented support to INEC, adding that the scorecard series is another indication of the administration's determination to leave office on May the 29th. Well, to speak more on this development, political affairs analyst Nelson Ekojimi joins me now. As always, thank you very much for joining us. Now, how effective are threats of visa ban in ensuring that political actors do not engage in electoral violence? Now, if you can hear me, Mr. Nelson, I was asking how effective these threats of visa bans are on political actors to ensure that, electoral violence do not become a usual thing in every electoral process in Nigeria.
Well, this issue of visa ban on perceived electoral offenders has been a regular, call or a statement by the American government as well as some other foreign governments. But how effective it has been in the years passed by is something I think we can do a research on to determine if it has become a deterrent, to sponsors and perpetrators of electoral violence. That is a reference studies that we can take up for another day. But as we speak, I don't know how far it has been effective, but I know that majorly the key political gladiators in Nigeria cherish their investments outside the country, cherish the opportunities they have in accessing the good things of life that are not present here right over there. So I'm sure a lot of them will not be ready to toy with that. But whether they will masquerade their criminality and push some other persons forward and such that they don't become victims of this ban is another issue that we have to look at, because if somebody is alleged to have committed the electoral offense in Nigeria, such a person has to be taken through the legal system and for it to be proved beyond reasonable doubt and be convicted before you can place a ban. So I don't think it is enough for the American government to say electoral offenders. Who determines who an electoral offender is if he or she has not passed through the rudiments of the legal system? So that is a question I want to throw back to them.
Now we've seen some stakeholders bringing together political actors and candidates to sign a peace accord to ensure that we have a smooth and violence-free election by February 2023. But is this enough, number one? And what's more must be done to ensure that 2023 general elections are as violence-free as possible?
The signing of peace accords is just symbolic. Most importantly, what we need to do is to firm up our laws, build our institutions such that whoever breaks the law, be it during elections, before, during and after, faces the music. It is not enough for us to just sign peace accord and everybody goes home and tomorrow morning at a particular rally you hear that they are firing gunshots. it should be such that whether during elections, whether before elections, whether after elections, if you have violated the laws of the land, because the laws of the land does not allow you to break, to commit crime. So any crime is a violation of the law. There are, stringent penalties in our laws. It is for us to firm up our laws and ensure that people pay for whatever deeds they have committed. If they have done well, we give them a pat on the back. But if they have done otherwise, they serve their time.
Well, political affairs analyst Nelson Ekojimi, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. Amid concerns of scarcity of the redesigned Naira notes, the Department of State Services DSS says it has intercepted bank officials among the syndicates who specialize in trading in the new currency notes around the country. Making the revelation in a statement on Monday, the DSS spokesperson, Peter Afunaya, says some members of organized syndicates were involved in the sale of the new redesigned Naira notes. He also said in the course of the DSS operations, it was also established that some commercial bank officials were aiding the economic malfeasance. Though the service did not mention the states or commercial banks involved, it warned the currency racketeers to desist from the ignoble act. Ahead of the forthcoming general election in Nigeria, the European Union Election Observation Mission has said that around 100 observers have been deployed across 36 states of the Federation. The chief observer of the European Union Observation Mission, EUEOM, to Nigeria, Barry Andrews, made this known at the official launch of the mission in Abuja. Andrews says the deployment is to further underline the contributions of the EU in deepening the roots of Nigeria's electoral process and to promote the integrity and credibility of elections, while assuring that the European Union Election Observation Mission would not interfere with the electoral process. Yet that preliminary statements would be issued 2 days after each election day and would remain in Nigeria until the completion of the entire electoral process.
The European Union's partnership with Nigeria is very deep. This election observation mission is part of an entire structure that goes back to trying to deepen the democratic governance and improving democratic governance. We've contributed €150 million to the Nigerian government over the years, and over the next period, the budgetary period of the European Union, a contribution of €39 million will be made in order to improve democratic governance, and we do that in partnership with Nigerian CSOs and the Nigerian government departments. This election observation mission is going to be a very large commitment by the European Union. Let me put it to you that way. It is a very large country, but the reason that the European Union is so committed is because Nigeria is Africa's largest democracy. It is clearly the most populous nation in Africa, and it has been pointed out to me that the scale of the Nigerian election is larger than all the other West African states put together, and therefore it carries, I think, a major gravitational pull on the overall region. And so it's not just in Nigeria's interest, but also in the region's interest and in the interest of all the partners that we have a very dedicated mission here. And so it will be at a very large scale, I can assure you of that, and we will make sure that we can do the very best we can to produce an assessment that it qualitatively contributes to the deepening of the roots of Nigerian democracy.
As the nation braces up for the 2023 general elections, the Nigerian government has been reminded of the importance of a credible, free and fair election as it sets the tone for subsequent elections in Sierra Leone in June 2023 and Liberia in October 2023. This is according to the West Africa Democracy Solidarity Network at a press conference to mark the end of its solidarity mission to Nigeria. Kojo Ashante, the head of Secretariat, West Africa Election Observation Network, lauded the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for the critical intervention of the beavers, while also advising the electoral umpire to adhere to the contingency measures in the event of any malfunctioning on election day. The West Africa Election Observation Network further called for an immediate solution to the lingering fuel scarcity ahead of general elections for smooth delivery of logistics and movement of security personnel, INEC staff and voters.
our recommendation to government is that government must improve availability of fuel to mitigate the effect that the current shortages could have on the election. This has the tendency of increasing voter apathy and turnout, particularly for voters who travel long distances to their polling stations. Again, it has implications for the movement of security personnel and patrol teams, and basically every election stakeholder in the run-up to election and election day and afterwards.
We should encourage political parties to respect the peace accord that they all signed. That requires certain commitments from political parties to ensure that they respect the laws and regulations regarding the conduct of this particular election. They were also of the opinion that it's important we encourage faith-based leaders, other influential voices, intermediary voices, to use their platform to really campaign against activities that will warrant violence around the elections, but particularly activities that will involve mobilizing young people, massing young people to engage in violent activities and practices. So that's why in our statement, we made a very strong case that faith-based organizations, CSOs, media, and other intermediary voices to ensure that they use their platform to preach against the use of disinformation, misinformation, and all other activities that has the potential for triggering violence in the elections.
While still on electoral matters, the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, has taken its presidential election campaign to Akwa Ibom State. Speaking to the crowd of supporters, the APC presidential flag bearer, Bola Tinubu, urged the party supporters to vote in the ruling party in the February 25 election. While reeling out his campaign promises, the former Lagos State governor promised to replicate the success in Lagos State in Akwa Ibom. Tinubu further urged the party supporters to get their PVC to ensure that the ruling party retains power come 2023.
You get to gas station, you don't find fuel, you wait for hours. I guarantee you, Daddy will stop. Jagaba. Somebody who is a liar. They are PDP. People deceiving people. Correct. Papa deceiving Peking. Papa deceiving Peking. Poverty Development Party.
Yes, correct.
I see what you don't call.
Yes, sir.
President, you call.
Sweep.
And make it your own. Your own prosperity, your own good luck,
Has come.
your own opportunity.
Has come.
The hunger is gone.
Yes, sir. Pata.
We will do mechanized farming.
Yes, sir.
We will export food from Akwa Ibom.
Deep sea port.
We will build your deep sea port.
The Independent Campaign Council Directorate of Professional Women working for the election of the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidates Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his re-election and the re-election of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State has urged Nigerians to utilize the 10-day extension for the collection of permanent voter cards. At a press conference on Monday, the women explained reasons why citizens and professional women in the state must vote the APC presidential candidates and the re-election of the Lagos State Governor. The support group further explained that it would leave no stone unturned in mobilizing the electorate in order to deliver the 1 million votes target of the APC.
Ashwadi is a builder. He has built many great leaders. He has built bridges across the nation. He played a significant role in building Lagos and making Lagos what it is today, the envy of other states. Let us all be part of positive history as we bring in our expertise and experiences to support this great man who has volunteered to give us a renewed hope as a nation. Today, as professionals in different fields, we are using this medium to encourage professionals like not to just sit on the fence, to encourage you to be part of this process and to get how we make Nigeria great again. Come out en masse and vote continuity. Let's go for a greater Lagos. Let's relate Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his right-hand genius, Engineer Kadri Obafemi Hamzat. If you haven't collected your PVC, please go get it now.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the reason. Most of us are not indigent, most of us are not indigent. We have benefited a lot. It's not all about indigent right now. It's all about professional and unprofessional. It's all about everybody to put his or hands on desk. And once whatever we are doing now, let us go out there and practice it. We are not only here for this press conference, but we are telling you people that we are ready. Our professional women are ready. We are ever ready.
The Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) says it would resume train services on the Abuja-Kaduna Rail Corridor on Tuesday, January 31, 2023. This is coming a few days after NRC suspended operations on the route following the derailment of a train. Director of Operations Niyi Ali, who announced the resumption of the Abuja-Kaduna train services in a statement on Monday, expressed the federal government's commitment to providing safe and better services to Nigerians. Meanwhile, the Warri-Itakpe rail service, which was suspended after a train derailed at kilometer 30 Ajaokuta-Itakpe section of the track, is yet to commence operations. We'll take a break now, but still to come, United Nations projects Nigeria's economy to grow by 3% in 2023. Details of this story and more right after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians have said in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. With the 2023 general election just weeks away, calls from the international community against electoral violence have become more vocal. To this end, the federal government has said it is in support of any action, including a visa ban, to be imposed on any Nigerian who threatens the 2023 elections by the United States of America. We also told you that amid concerns of scarcity of the redesigned Naira notes, the Department of State Services (DSS) says it has intercepted bank officials among the syndicates who specialize in trading in the new currency notes around the country. Making the revelation in a statement on Monday, the DSS spokesperson Peter Afunaya said some members of organized syndicates were involved in the sale of the new redesigned Naira notes. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. The World Health Organization has said that COVID-19 continues to constitute a public health emergency of international concern, its highest form of alert. In a statement on Monday, the WHO said its International Health Regulations Emergency Committee came to the conclusion that after its 14th meeting regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the WHO statement, the committee members expressed concern about the high number of COVID deaths compared to other respiratory infections diseases, the insufficient vaccine uptake, and the uncertainty associated with emerging variants. The committee added that reduced public perception of risk has led to a reduction in the use of public health and social measures. We'll take a breather now and be back with more stories and business. Stay with us. Welcome back. Let's join Mary Kani now for more stories and business. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you, Folashade. Hello and welcome to Business News. The United Nations says Nigeria's economy will grow to 3% in 2023 because of a robust commodities trade and dynamic consumer goods and services markets. Disclosing this in the World Economic Situation and Prospects 2023 report, the UN added that high inflation and power supply issues are affecting economic growth in the country. According to the New York headquarters agency, high inflation and power supply issues are impacting growth in Nigeria, but the economy will benefit from robust commodities trade and dynamic consumer goods and services markets. The Central Bank of Nigeria has said it recovered 1.9 trillion naira worth of currency in 2 months outside of the banking system following its naira notes redesign and cash swap policy. This was disclosed by the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele on Sunday as part of his updates following a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. Emefiele revealed that the Apex Bank had been able to reduce the currency outside the banking system to 900 billion naira from a whopping 2.7 trillion naira following the announcement of new naira notes.
Aside from those holding illicit and stolen naira in their homes for speculative purpose, we do aim to give all Nigerians that have naira legitimately earned and trapped the opportunity to deposit their legitimately trapped monies at the CBN for exchange. Based on the foregoing, we have today sought and obtained Mr. President's approval for the following. 1. A 10-day extension of the deadline from January 31, 2023 to February 10, 2023 to allow for collection of more old notes legitimately held by Nigerians and achieve more success in cash swap in our rural areas, in our villages and communities, after which all old notes outside the CBN loses their legal tender status. Our CBN staff, currently on mass mobilization and monitoring, together with officials of the EFCC and ICPC, will work together to achieve these objectives in the coming days. 2. a 7-day grace period beginning on February 10 to February 17, 2023, in compliance with Section 20, subsection 3 and Section 22 of the CBN Act, allowing Nigerians to deposit their old notes at the CBN after the February deadline, when the old currency would have lost its legal tender status. We therefore appeal to all Nigerians to work with the Central Bank of Nigeria to achieve a hitch-free process for the implementation of this very important program.
We'll take a break now and return with stock market report. The Nigerian exchange closed positive amid buy interest and sell-offs as the bulls dominated proceedings, driving up the broad market. The all-share index appreciated 0.95% to close at 53,157 basis points. In the same vein, market capitalization grew by 272 billion naira to close at 28.9 trillion naira. It's all gains for the NGX today. Market breadth closed positive as John Holt led 28 gainers against 15 losers and is closely followed by Geregu Power. Now, this equity has been consistent with recording gains since the start of 2023. Now, similarly, at the close of trading, data shows improvements in volume, turnover, and in deals. 201 million volume of shares were traded in 4,332 deals. A switch now to some select global stocks, while the FTSE, Dow Jones, and Nikkei have struggled to record gains since the start of the year. We see only US Dow Jones trading lower amid a January rally as investors brace for the busiest week of earnings season and a possible interest rate hike from the Federal Reserve. Well, that's the stock market review. Folashade, back to you.
Well, many thanks, Mary, for that update. And on the foreign scene, former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is alleged that Russian President Vladimir Putin once threatened to kill him with a missile last year for supporting Ukraine. Johnson, who became a key supporter of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's administration in the months after Russia invaded, made the claim as part of a new BBC Two series looking at how the West grappled with Putin in the years before the war. Prior to the invasion, he says he told Putin that there was no imminent prospect of Ukraine joining NATO, while warning him that any invasion would mean more NATO, not less NATO, on Russian borders. However, on Monday, the Kremlin accused Johnson of lying, with spokesperson Dmitry Peskov telling reporters what he said was not true, or more precisely, a lie. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Former Big Brother Naija star Katrina has been getting knocks from social media users for faking pregnancy and delivering news as a publicity stunt for her new business. Earlier, Katrina had claimed she was expecting a child after sharing pictures of herself rocking a baby bump. However, the mother of one, in a follow-up post, revealed that she was not pregnant with a child, but was instead birthing a business idea to reality. According to her, the collection was conceived and birthed on the love and inseparable bond between herself and her super talented daughter. With the turn of events on social media, people have been chastising the reality star and telling her to stop chasing clout. Nigerians still condemn popular Afropop singer Iyanya for pushing a fan off stage while spraying him money in Oka, Anambra State. A video that angered fans on social media captured the moment the singer pushed a male fan, spraying money on him off stage, and continued to perform as if nothing had happened. Reacting to the massive backlash he received because of the push, Iyanya, in a tweet on his Twitter handle, explained that the fan was slapping his face with the money. Responding to the incident, the spokesperson for Delta State Police Command, DSP Bright Edafe, said Iyanya could be arrested if the fan who was maltreated tenders an official report. And that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now.
away from entertainment and now to sports. Manchester City have agreed to send João Cancelo out to loan to Bayern Munich in a shock move late on in the January transfer window, with the deal set to include an option to buy the player for £61.5 million. Cancelo was named in the last two PFA Premier League Team of the Year lineups, playing 36 games last season as City comfortably wrapped up the title. The Portugal international is currently under contract at Etihad until 2027 and will join a Bayern side who have drawn their last 3 games, which has allowed Union Berlin to reduce the gap to them at the top to just a point. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Fola Shade Ogurinde. Bye for now.